Hello again, wrestling fans, and welcome to a very special edition of the Scumbags Wrestling Podcast. We are episode 148. Hope you liked our new countdown and our special opening. That is permanently here to stay now. We have a couple of announcements to make. I want to get this over and done with quickly because the votes are going all over the place, but I need to bring in Stephen O'Neill quickly. He is here in London. How are you today, Stephen?
Good. I still haven't heard yet. Just give me a second.
Well, Stephen is looking for an answer for one thing. I just want to let people know to thank you for watching us live right now on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. You can listen to us on a lot of different podcasts. We have been running a month-long Ontario Indie Wrestling March Madness, 64 stars of the Ontario scene. They've worked in Ontario, been from New York, been from Michigan, but mostly from Ontario. We have gotten it down to very end of it today, right now. Votes have been going on all day. I've been seeing tie votes because people can't decide who is going to win. We've had a lot of three-way matches because people couldn't decide who was going to win. And I'm going to bring up the screen right now of my Facebook page. Oh, I'm getting... Hold on. My apologies. Gotta love live.
I need the link. Sean, can you send me the link quick?
Yes, I can.
Hold on. Just because I don't know if this is this going to work? Forward. Yes, it is. The one you sent me is going to work. Okay. Hold on.
I'm waiting.
Sorry, welcome to live podcasting.
Yeah, I'm going to bring up this little banner that I made with our Ontario Indie podcast, March Madness. And can I move forward, Stephen? I'm just trying to figure out. While we're talking about
saw that that person saw the link. Yeah. 1 second, he's just typing.
Okay, so we're about to announce the winner of the March Madness. I just want to let you guys know while we're hooking up with this individual is the fact that we are also going to make an announcement on the Predictions League and show a couple of images of what's to come. It starts at WrestleMania. So
Sorry, Sean. Said person can only be on quickly, so just keep an eye out for them.
Yeah, as soon as that happens,
because they're on a different stream. So I just said
understandable. So you're going to hear information about that. We're going to show some rundowns, and
you know what I was thinking, Sean. You know what we should also do maybe in a month or two, an Ontario Indie Tag Team Tournament.
I have been talking about that.
I think we should call it
was awesome.
I think we should call it the Jim Cornette Award.
Oh, well, we'll figure that one out along the way. I'm just waiting for our potential guest to come up, and
just waiting.
What happens. We're also going to let you know some of the information of there we are. So guys, right now we're going to bring this up, and our special guest, it is Scumbag Yates. Now, as you see here, by a slight narrow margin, 54 votes to 53. Congratulations to Scumbag Yates.
Thank God it's not another tie. That's all I could say.
You've had so many ties this round with Holden Albright. You came so close with even Scotty today. So many people were like, I want to vote for him, but I like him, and making sure it was even. And I didn't know how it was going to go. But congratulations. You are our 2021 March Madness winner. You had awesome promos, and it was great the way through.
Awesome. Thank you. I can't really tell how it's going right now because this is just frozen on my screen right now.
No
I can still hear you guys, but everything looked frozen on me. Yeah, thank you for everyone for voting. Voted me throughout the whole thing. Honestly, when I got to Holden Albright, I didn't think I was going to make it through, to be perfectly honest with you, because everyone likes him. And then all the shenanigans with the ties, and then as soon as it got to John Green and Josh Alexander, it's like, oh, I'm out. And then somehow made it to the end and ended up winning it all. So
yeah, your fans rallied behind you, family, friends. We got so many people just asking to join, and then all day today, with the fact that we started the vote for the finals yesterday at 7, I was seeing so many messages going, vote for Scumbag, vote for Scumbag, and people adding themselves to our group just so they could vote for you. And they were doing the same.
I saw that, and I thank him so much for him. And everyone has also been bugging me about with the hot wings as well. So it's sometime this weekend. It might be either tomorrow, it might be Saturday. It depends if I can get my new computer working. But I'll be looking to live stream that, me eating the hot wings. So it's happening sometime this weekend. I just don't know when.
Definitely look forward to seeing that. Yeah, that was one of your promises. If you could have gotten past a couple of the rounds, and especially Holden, and you guys tied. So we will definitely be a host if you want to share that link on our page. But yeah, it's great that you were a part of it. I want to thank all the people who participated. A lot of energy with this, especially when we've been shut down for a year with hardly any live wrestling, especially for fans, and to be able to interact with the talent and the fans together, really great.
I know. Thank you. It was a great tournament. It was a big tournament too, like just chock full of a lot of talent there.
So yeah, thank you very much. Steven was saying you are on another show at the moment, or doing live streaming.
Yeah, I was originally supposed to live stream, but I am on playing with like a bunch of other wrestlers that are streaming right now, like Matt Grant and John Greed and Anthony Kingdom James. Yeah, they're all streaming. I can't because my computer's not working for some reason. It won't run the OBS system. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing, and should be starting in like a minute or two. So
yeah, okay. Well, I don't want to keep you any longer if you get going. We'll try to arrange a time for an actual full segment instead of surprise on you, and we'll do an interview. So
all right, perfect. Sounds good, my man.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Have a great night.
You too. Bye now.
But as you see, Joe Thorrington is putting up the fact that we have some congratulations. I don't know how we thought I gave it away, but yeah. Oh, because I have a new intro, or maybe because of our new intro. Yeah, it's just coincidence that actually everything fell into place. Yeah, once I'd say first round when Tyson Dukes got taken out because he was a 2-time winner, the field was wide open with how it was going to go. Steven, your thoughts on it before we advance?
We were talking off, but I mean, I love it. I think that he's a great guy. I've got to meet him at least on Facebook with the Sluggin, and then super nice guy, and I think it's great. And I know I had a different person because me and you sent our things. I had Mark Wheeler winning, but I mean, any of those people in that bracket, R64 could have won, and it would have been great. So
so there's the explanation from Joe of how I gave it away. Yeah, because he was supposed to be Twitch streaming at the time. But you never know. Scotty might have been Twitch streaming at the same time. But yeah, so Joe did a great job of recruiting people to vote for Scumbag Gates. I know there's a lot of messages that he was sending out to people. And so, yeah, thank you, Joe, for being a part of the whole tournament. I saw your name and a bunch of others pop up encouraging votes. And that was the just behind this whole thing, is making sure that we had interaction between not only us as fans and podcasters type deal, I really don't even like calling myself that sort of term, because I'm just a fan having fun. But being able to make a connection for the other fans who don't sit down and do this, along with the talent that are out there, and they haven't really been able to do much unless they've been able to do some Backyard Pro, Go Hard Pro, New School last weekend. So it's all over the place, and I think it's really appropriate that Scumbag Yates ended up winning this one. We are scumbags for starters, and whenever we post anything, he's one of the first people to constantly like, and that shows a lot of intent. And that he acknowledges what we're doing, and I love that. And it actually pays off being able to uh, interact and be a part of that. So thank you for that. Thank you to everybody else who was part of it. We need to also make arrangements with Pretty Ricky. I was talking to him when this was starting and getting videos, and so next month we're going to get a couple of guys on here, Scumbag Yates and Pretty Ricky for sure, and we'll see what happens beyond that, because we can start back up the Ontario Indy road trip sort of side of this podcast before live events go again. So he says you gotta do a ref tournament. Well, could be interesting. A few refs, including yourself. So yeah, we'll see how that unfolds. If we can get the numbers, I encourage you, Joe, to send me some names that we can put in there and have some fun. But another thing we were doing, and I'm going to reveal it now, is the Predictions League. There we are. I'm going to just play this little bit. So, as we've been advertising for a little bit, the Scumbags Wrestling is putting together a Predictions League. It is going to be right here, presented by Cool Bets. Stay cool, bet responsibly. And so this is going to be a two-tiered play mode. You can play Pro for $25 or Fun for free. And we already watched WWE, NXT, AEW, and Impact Wrestling pay-per-views. Maybe you don't catch them all, but this might encourage you to watch them, or at least follow along online of what's going on. Make your predictions on our website and earn some points, earn some prizes. And you see the scoring up here. 10 points if you get a correct prediction for a win. 5 points if it's a no contest, or I'm going to say also if it's a triple threat and you're not a part of the win or the loss, and that gets you 5 points because it wasn't a win or a loss, and 0 points for a loss. And we're going to give away some bonus points when it comes for Elimination Chambers and Royal Rumble type matches from all the organizations, because you should earn some points if your people end up getting rid of somebody as well. So a lot of details are at scumbags.ca. I'm going to share that page in just a moment. But I want to also mention that Cool Bets has graciously sponsored us for this. And part of it, we're getting this. It's the mock-up drawing of the championship belt that will be given away at the end of the season. It is a two-tiered season as well, where we're going to go from basically WrestleMania until about SummerSlam. And so it's April till August, and then September, which is around All Out for AEW, until Royal Rumble, which is usually the end of January. And everybody who wins points in the first section, the top two are going to move on to the final playoffs, and same with the second bracket. So if you're at the bottom of the first tier and you start getting disappointed that you're not doing well and you're never going to catch up to these guys who are up top, it's okay. After SummerSlam, we're going to reset the numbers and allow everybody to start again. So you have a chance to build yourself back up. 2 more will come out of that, and the overall points winner, as long as they're not the 4 that have advanced, will join them in the 5 finalists competing for the championship. Now, to compete for the championship, though, you need to be on the pro level, where you can end up being a winner for that championship belt that is coming from Undisputed Belts and will be shown next week on the show. Now, we're also looking at giving away prizes such as t-shirts and other Scumbag labeled, logoed merchandise. We have our shop at Pro Wrestling Tees, and so random weeks or random events will qualify for a t-shirt, and that's for everybody, whether you're on the fun level or the pro level. So you're always going to be a chance to win something. We'll post up the results every pay-per-view, and I'm going to show you where on our website you can get that as soon as I switch over to a different screen to share. Steven, your thoughts on this while I bring that up?
I'm excited about the Prediction League. We've been working on this since January?
Yeah, January, February. Well, yeah,
January. No, it had
January.
to be January because we did the test run was Royal Rumble with people not knowing about it.
Yeah, that was the test run, was Royal Rumble. I don't know.
And we went back and forth on some rules and ideas on it, and
yeah,
I've been working on the cool bets. So
yeah, so I'm going to switch over to the other so I can actually control that screen. But yeah, this is our website, scumbags.ca, and you can click on the Predictions League tab, which is at the left-hand side near the top. And as I said, Cool Bets is the sponsor. 2-tiered, $25 for full season, eligible to win the championship. Bets at the belt at the end of the season provided by Cool Belts, and free eligibility for special prize events. So it's always there. Right here, you'll see the upcoming events, and there is the next 3, which is WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2, and of course Impact Rebellion on April 25th. Along here in the pictures area, you're going to see that scrolling along the way with all the pictures and the matches that are happening, as long as they've done a promo design for it. I'm also going to list the match card, how many days until the event is going to happen, and over here on the right-hand side, it's a form where you fill out your name, first and last, fill out your email, and type in your predictions. That's all you need to do. Pick the winners for each event. If there's a special stipulation added, just put your answers there and click submit. Now you're going to see all the rules here. Basically, you're going to have the last hour before the kickoff show of any of the organizations that we're following. They have usually a kickoff show, and if your picks are in there before then, it's going to be time stamped anyways, so we'll know when it was put in. And yeah, then we just sit back and watch. There'll be another spreadsheet at the end of each pay-per-view to see where you stand. Now, as you see also here is the points. Your name will be one of the X's, and your points run up and down the ladder. Season 1 is there, season 2, and then the winners from those will move into the playoff positions, and there's the overall points spot. So you can pay for your $25, however it converts, depending on if you're over in the UK. Our friends with the Johners Podcasting Network and those listen to us there. Anybody who's in the United States, Canada, wherever it is, it's $25 Canadian. That's all it needs to be, and it's send a payment via e-transfer to my regular email address, which is hooked up to my bank account, ESSJY76@gmail.com, and you'll get confirmation that you have paid and are part of the pro level. Once again, t-shirts and the belt to be won. I encourage anybody to send us comments and sign up today. I will start accepting anytime, and our first event is WrestleMania, and so you have until then to submit your picks an hour before the kickoff show for night number 1 of WrestleMania. So, Steven, anything else you want to?
I mean, you're going to see me and Shawn be doing them too. We haven't really talked about whether we'll be in the pro or the fun one, but you'll see. Try to beat us. I mean, I know. I think we put ourselves. We did. I know I did. I think you did too. The Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I think we were both in it, but I obviously was not eligible for the prizing, just because that just doesn't make sense when you're presenting.
Yeah, we're not going to take prizes, but I mean, I think
we're going to compete for the fun part of it. So yeah, definitely, as I said, there's my email address for anybody who's watching. Then they can send a e-transfer. I believe I can also take PayPal. So if you want to get involved, $25 actually covers your whole time. Now, others can join the second half of the season if they want, but they're going to be a little bit behind on the points, especially for the overall win. But get in early, have some fun. We're already watching pay-per-views anyways, so why not get bonus sport, and you could walk away with the championship belt, which, once again, I have it being rushed to me from California. I talked to them and paid a little extra for the shipping, so it is here in time for next week's episode, and I'll be able to show you. And that will be
the belt.
Yeah, the belt will be here in my lap
to
show.
We're not sure if it's going to be at your house or with me, but it will be here.
It'll be on the program regardless. But yeah, we'll be able to show it next week, and that will hopefully be also incentive for you to sign up, because it's still before WrestleMania. And we'll answer any questions that you might have. Send us a line, scumbagswrestling@gmail.com, over on our Facebook page. Join our official Predictions League group, where you can sign up and interact with us on that as well. So that is our special announcement as far as the prediction leagues go. I think it's going to be fun, even without the championships and t-shirts involved. I love just being able to interact with fans and get things right, get things wrong. I'm part of one that unfortunately is a little bit disappointing, that because they take negative points away from you, and it's just a weird system. This one is straightforward: a win, a loss, or a tie. Just like hockey, instead of 2 points, 1 point, no points, we're doing 5, 10, and 0, and that allows us flexibility for the extra points, where you get bonuses for eliminations and championship wins potentially.
I'm excited. Sorry, I'm helping people right now fill out forms for COVID shots.
Yeah,
so that's
no
what I was.
Problem. I thankfully got mine the other day.
And
my wife just got hers.
I have to go get mine because I have to get one still. But I'm sorry. That's why I was running around like a crazy person to start this, and people are asking me for the login that the government just sent us earlier, but they didn't really classify things like the good Ontario government doesn't really give us a lot of info. I'm excited for this prediction league. I think if I have to suffer through AEW, I imagine I'll try to beat Shawn at this.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be fun.
I think we should think of a bet between me and you. Whoever loses has to do something at the end of the season.
Well,
people, come up with some. It cannot be anything like spicy related, because my body can't handle that. But think of something that me and Shawn should bet.
Yeah, well, my worry is it's going to be some like shaving her head, and I got hair to lose. Unlike yourself.
That would suck, wouldn't it, Sean?
Yeah, it would. But yeah,
Should we shave when I beat Sean? Should we shave his head, people? Would his wife allow that? Is the first
I don't
question.
know. That's a good question.
We do it live on the podcast too.
Oh, you're mean. So
I know. I try. Think. People send us some bets that me and Sean should put in for between me and Sean, since neither of us want to win prizes from you guys. But think of things that me and Sean could bet.
oh, is that a ding of somebody having an
No,
idea?
I'm helping someone with the COVID shot, and my cell phone's way over, and it keeps popping up on my Facebook.
Okay. So yeah, we're going to move on to some of the news. I do have another thing that we've been asked to talk about with a special little guy needing medical help. I'm going to bring that up in just a little while before we get into WrestleMania week. But looking at some of the news of the week, I want to send our thoughts and prayers out to Road Dogg. Last week, he possibly had a heart attack. He had some tests done on other organs as well, and they seem to be fine. He's at home resting and recovering, and he's only about 51 years old. So, guess you're never too young. And he had a rough year as it was, losing both his parents. His mom passed away, and then Bullet Bob. So, yeah, thoughts send out to Road Dogg, his friends, and family. Last year, Japanese star Hana Kimura was bullied online after doing a thing that the producers on Terrace House asked her to do. I think it involved laundry, and people weren't happy with that, and fans were all over. She ended up getting bullied online, and to the point where she ended up, unfortunately, taking her life. The police investigated, and most of the comments were deleted by people, but they did catch one male who was in his 20s, and they ended up taking him to court. And he was found guilty, but his only charge was being fined 9,000 yen. And when you convert that into other currencies, it's $80 US or $100 Canadian. I don't know what your thoughts on bullying getting to the point where criminal charges are, or some sort of charges are put out there.
Uno momento, please. You just, I gotta. Uno momento.
Okay. We'll get your thoughts on that maybe later. But yeah, I just find it really weird by the Japanese courts, at least, the value of somebody's life and what bullying can only amount to is $100 Canadian as a fine. I don't know if in Canada we get a lot of jail time for that, but I bet the fines are more than $100. We can now add Riddle to the card for WrestleMania, as he's going to be defending the U.S. Championship on night one against Sheamus. Sheamus picked up the victory this past Monday, and he had also hit Riddle with a scooter the Monday before. There's talk that this week they're going to make a women's tag team match on night number one, which will result in the winners getting a title shot the following night against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler on night number two. Look for that announcement either tomorrow on SmackDown or Monday on Raw. That's been kind of a wonky recording the thing as well, because WWE recorded the 2020 Hall of Fame on Tuesday night. Titus O'Neil was given the Warrior Award for that, and I'm not sure if they're going to give out a second Warrior Award for the 2001 class. We'll have to wait and see. I haven't heard anything about that class. It looks like Liger and Khali did not make it to the recordings, obviously due to travel restrictions, but they do want to get these classes inducted, so that's.
Hey, sorry. Jushin Thunder Liger was sent a pre-recorded, and supposedly Kali did.
Yeah, I figured they were going to end up doing that, which makes my question about why didn't Dave Bautista just do that, regardless of his filming?
Because WWE pulled him because they wanted him to be live in front of an audience.
Yeah.
Because Batista's about as entertaining in front of no audience as watching AEW.
Yeah, I remember being at the Pittsburgh Royal Rumble, and fans were not happy about Dave Bautista winning. There's even 24/7 or Night of documentary on the network with that weekend. But so they recorded that. WWE has also added Rob Van Dam this past week. He was rumored anyways, and then Paul Heyman did a Twitter picture, and he was pointing at himself doing the RVD post. And William Shatner is also inducted into the Hall of Fame this week. It's will be shown on Tuesday because they did a live Raw on Monday, recorded Raw for next week on Tuesday, along with the first night of, or the first class of 2020 for Hall of Fame. Then Wednesday, I believe they recorded the second, the 2001 or 21 Hall of Fame class. Tonight they're recording the Go Home show for SmackDown, which will air next Friday. And then tomorrow night, they're doing a live version of SmackDown on Fox. And then they have to clear out of the Thunderdome and move all that out there in time for the Rays to start baseball.
And then I don't know, and I haven't seen whether they're pre-taping the Raw after WrestleMania and all that now, or are they just doing it at the Performance Center?
I think they have the Yemen, I can't pronounce it right, but the Yemling Center. It's still in Florida, but they announced that they're moving there for the 12th. So
yeah, but there's no way you're going to get the Thunderdome set up after you have to set up WrestleMania, take it down.
They're not using the Thunderdome screen, so as soon as things end tomorrow night, they can start quickly taking things apart and transporting that over to the new center. You know, they've probably been working on Raymond J. Stadium already for WrestleMania.
Oh yeah, I would. There's so many questions. I don't know how they're going to. The night after WrestleMania is always unique, and I don't know how they're going to make it the same. Or
yeah. I get that. So NXT announced that they're moving officially to Tuesdays. It's been speculated for weeks now, but it's part of a multi-year extension with NXT being filmed on USA Network. And so it officially puts an end to the Wednesday Night Wars. Not that it was much of a war, because neither brand was actually gaining any momentum over the other one. They, at one point, were trading back and forth, and then the numbers have been stagnant for both brands. So we'll see what happens when they're opposite days from each other, if either brand picks up people that were not watching them beforehand. And so unless also WWE puts some counter programming on the network, going against AEW still, because there's still that rumor of NXT Evolve that could pop up there, along with just putting in NXT UK.
It just now there's so every night of the week has wrestling.
Yeah, because
Mondays is Raw, Tuesdays is NXT and Dark, Wednesdays is AEW, MLW, and I don't even know when NXT or NWA Power is because I don't get the Fight Network. Yeah, so Tuesday. Thursday is now Impact. Friday is SmackDown. Your most weekend, at least one weekend a month, there's a pay-per-view. And when Impact decides they seem like they're doing pay-per-views regularly, then you have AEW. There'll be weeks where we have nonstop.
Oh yeah, it'll be insane because sometimes Impact does do a Saturday and WWE does a Sunday, or NXT does a Sunday, and so that would be a good, I'm going to say 12 days stretch potentially if nobody's booked the Sunday beforehand.
20-day stretch if it's like if one weekend it's AEW, the next weekend it's Impact and AEW. I don't think, and this is my problem right now with most pro wrestling. Why does AEW need Elevation and Dark and Dynamite when they can't do Dynamite right?
And they're doing like 17 matches on a Dark show.
Well, and let's get real. We don't need a 3-hour Raw. We don't need like all this extra shit. I don't.
Yeah, but I get a 3-hour Raw only because of the fact that USA Network is paying WWE for that, and so they're making money. Why do we need all those hours of Dark when who's paying for it?
Well, we don't really. I'm sure WWE could talk to USA and shrink Raw to a 2-hour program, what we grew up on, and make it good. This 3 hours, it drags out. There's at least an hour through that program you could cut out, and it'd be a better program.
Yeah,
it hurts my soul. So now we have 5 days a week, at least one program, some days 2 or 3 programs. Fuck.
How do you really feel? So yeah, the weird world of Charlotte Flair and Andrade continues as there's been more twists with another reason why Charlotte was pulled was that some sort of blood test was done and doctors thought that she was pregnant. So they quickly got out and got some pregnancy tests. They came back negative. And so they were like, what's going on? Just in time for her to get hit with COVID. Then she's also supposed to be recording or filming a new version of Walking Tall. Andrade is out, and apparently Triple H actually wants him back for NXT. Who knows? And he's been doing interviews, Andrade has, and they've all been in Spanish, and some of the translations have come back a little wonky, where Charlotte's had to have people go, this is what he meant. So,
which doesn't surprise me.
So hopefully they figure all this out. Charlotte could be cleared. There's talk that she's been backstage at Raw recently. Rhea Ripley said she'd be okay if it became a triple threat, but she really wants to have a one-on-one with Asuka. They only have like one more episode of Raw to put Charlotte into place, or 2 episodes of SmackDown if she's going to show up at all at WrestleMania, unless it's a surprise appearance that night. The Hurt business was taken apart for some unknown reason. They slowly turned on Cedric and Shelton, and then Lashley actually physically turned on them and got saved or helped out by Baron Corbin trying to claim the bounty. Do we really need Lashley and Corbin together? Why destroy the Hurt business? That was a faction that was actually working. May have been getting over with the fans, and they were supposed to be healed, but why? It just doesn't make any sense.
The only thing I can think of is that there's going to be, is this a swerve? And they didn't actually break up.
Potentially, because Shelton and Cedric were not supposed to be allowed at ringside for Bobby Lashley. But if they're away from him, I can see where you're thinking that one, and they come out, they're not representing Bobby until the last moment. So who knows?
I mean, unless you're going to bring in a tag team, I don't know. That was my first thing. Was seems like they're going to either, I don't know. Unless the only other thing I can think of was Shelton Benjamin's contract's coming up.
Could. Well, let's wait and see what happens. WrestleMania is only a few more days away. With that, Bad Bunny, it looked like he actually potatoed Miz with his punch on Monday. If that's true, they're going to have to work on that so Miz doesn't get legitimately hurt by, well, okay, maybe a piece of paper being thrown at him, but wild thrown punches might not be a good thing. Hopefully, also Damian Priest and Morrison get cleared and make it a tag team match. Logan Paul is going to be on SmackDown tomorrow night in a segment with Sami Zayn with the documentary. Logan Paul is some YouTube sensation guy who does videos. I don't personally know who he is, but he's somehow going to be involved, and it's going to extend all the way to WrestleMania. So there'll be a celebrity on both days, Bad Bunny and Logan Paul. I think it's kind of a shame for that match, considering, like I said, who's Logan Paul, but also why ruin a lifelong dream of Sami and Kevin Owens to be able to go against each other at a WrestleMania. Shaquille O'Neal asked John Cena for feedback on his AEW match when Cena was on TNT's NBA post-game show. Shaq asked Cena what he thought, only for Cena to dodge the question and praise Shaq for being a person who would be on the Mount Rushmore of sports entertainers. So Cena definitely knows where his bread is buttered when it's not doing his Marvel filming in BC and other movies.
I didn't see. Was that on? Was he on set or was it via like a?
It was via satellite because Cena can't leave Vancouver, and that's why he's not going to be at WrestleMania because of all.
Well, that's why I was just confused there for a second.
Yep. No worries. Bret Hart claims that his brother Owen was the one who started slapping thighs and that it gotten out of control over the years with wrestlers. And he believes that it's a good move by WWE to put a stop to it and probably should have done it about 10 years ago. But interesting that Bret is blaming Owen for the thigh slapping. Meanwhile, I thought it was somebody like gentleman Chris Adams who was doing it with his super kick, and Shawn Michaels started doing it. I don't say Owen wasn't doing it, but yeah.
They all were, and that's what drives me mental.
Oh, it's even worse now than what it was then. It wasn't as noticeable, I don't think, because the people weren't doing it so prominently out there. Booker T questions Eric Bischoff's placement in the WWE Hall of Fame. As a two-time member, he feels only wrestlers should be in it. While not a stellar career in wrestling, Eric did actually have 25 matches to his name in different organizations. Of course, they weren't legit, serious 5-star Dave Meltzer type matches. He'll never have that. And I think, however, with his longevity, being an interviewer for AWA and doing everything at WCW, then general managers and stuff like that in WWE, he deserves it. And it shows that WWE doesn't care about the fact that he's shown up on AEW a couple times recently. They just want him in the Hall of Fame.
Did you? I don't know. I know we've talked about it. Do you listen to Eric Bischoff's 83 Weeks?
Yeah,
This week, have you listened to this week, The Big Bang?
Yeah, The Big Bang, and he talked about all the behind the scenes of the investors trying to get involved with buying WCW, and then the rug being pulled out from under them as soon as they lost the TV deals, and Vince swooped in and got the bones. So yeah, it's a good listen.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if anyone is into old WCW or wondering what a WCW run by Fusion Media would have looked like, it was quite interesting. Some of the details I'd already heard, but he confirmed them. Like, they weren't going to tour. They were going to basically, for the first 3 years, we're going to be in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of interesting little tidbits that they had a budget, and not every wrestler you would have saw was from the other WCW, especially the top names.
Well, it's the same reason why the Invasion ended up failing, because of the money. Like, if they were not able to get other Turner contracts and settle for lower funds, they weren't going to get used anywhere else. Like, people think, oh, Vince could have sprung for this money and bought them out. Like, no, why would you pay all that money for somebody you might value lower? And if you can get them for lower, and in some cases, Rey Mysterio was asked to just rest and heal up before Jim Ross ended up approaching him for an actual contract, bringing him in. So, yeah, I don't get it.
I mean, I look at some of the guys who sat on the sidelines. There was not a chance that McMahon was going to pay Hogan, Hall, Nash, Sting millions and millions and millions of dollars like they were getting from Turner. Or to why would you put your body on the road when you can make all this money sitting at home? Because Turner had to pay them anyways.
Yeah, it's smart business on their part, because while they get to rest up, they could do all these other outside deals if they wanted to, and they're way better off not taking the bumps.
Well, and they went to conventions and signed autographs, and it was great for them. They were making millions of dollars basically just sit at home and not do anything.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, though, that W couldn't have held out a little bit longer for those contracts to end and then pull the invasion angle. But you had to kind of strike.
I get it. But yeah, how long do you wait? Because I feel like Hogan and Hall and them were at least a year before they came, and I think if they wouldn't have pulled the trigger when they did, I think it would have been pointless a year after they bought it.
Yeah, just would have not been as impactful, or people would have been like, okay, so what? So unfortunately, WWE was in a bad situation. Yeah, go ahead with the invasion angle with what you had, or have it be a wet fart in church, that by waiting and going, oh, okay, you got old people here now. So I don't know. Just wanted to share the one thing that was here. Friend of mine on Facebook, Emma McVeeny. She is also with Rodney Matthews, one of Tyson's students. She contacted me, knowing that we like to help out charities and stuff. That's the wrong one. It's a different window. My apologies. There's a little boy who definitely is needing some help. Cancer treatments, rehab, bone grafting, and trying to walk again. Just bringing up, as I said, that page. I'm apologizing for everybody not seeing what I'm doing and wondering what I'm doing at the same time. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing too. Because I keep on hitting the wrong page. But yeah, I'm just going to say here that 7-year-old little boy, Jorgito, he's a really big wrestling fan who was diagnosed with bone cancer in September of 2020. He's currently going through his last few rounds of chemo and trying to help get the word out for donations to help with his recovery. There's a page on Facebook, which I'm trying to bring up, as I said, and you can get the details there. I have a picture that was sent to me with him and Tyson. He's a huge Tyson Dukes fan, and yeah, just a really cute little 7-year-old. There we go. Got the right page this time. So that should be up there. And yeah, it's medical rehab. Just go to the page. It's right here, Jordito's Medical Rehabilitation. They're looking for a way of raising funds to help him walk again. His mom realized that something was wrong with him by seeing how he was limping while walking and running. After an exploration, she found a mass above his left knee, and in her heart, she knew what it was. After 3 weeks of several medical exams, the diagnosis determined osteocaroma, an aggressive type of cancer that has taken an important place in Canadian history. So it's very much related to Terry Fox's cancer that he had with his leg. And they've been getting help from Terry Fox and his Marathon of Hope. He'd gone through 26 weeks of chemotherapy treatment, spending almost half of his time inpatient in London Health Sciences Centre's Children's Hospital. December 10th, he went through 14 hours of surgery at the Sick Kids Hospital in Toronto to remove a tumor on his femur and surrounding soft tissue, as well as reconstructive on his femur using bone graft taken from his right leg. So after surgery, his mobility is limited to let the bone graft and femur integrate each other and become one. At this moment, he is encouraged to start weight bearing with his right leg and do physiotherapy as part of his rehab. So the goal is to offer him as many resources as possible, including swimming with his parents, different medical equipment that I believe is not covered by medical plans here in Ontario. So definitely give it a check out. Jordito's Medical Rehabilitation. It's on Facebook. You can donate. They have $1,840 raised out of $5,000, and there's 11 days left. So definitely check it out. We're going to see what we can do. I'm actually, while I'm scrolling through here, if you go to our Pro Wrestling Tees page, and I'll bring that up and as well. Go to our Pro Wrestling Tees page, and if you buy any of the 3 shirts with our regular logos on it, I'm going to donate the profits to that, at least for the month of April, and we'll see what goes on with that. The other shirt is there with the Ontario comic book cover, and that's still money going to Steven's Wrestling Journey for curing malformation research. But yeah, because Emma reached out to us for that, I'm going to do the month of April. Any of these other 3 shirts, they're $20 US, prowrestlingtees.com/scumbagswrestling, and pick up one of those shirts, and I'm going to donate all that money for the month of April to this cause. Okay, so hopefully that helps out. We'll also share it on our Facebook page later on tonight or on the weekend once I get things organized a little bit better. So we only have one last thing to do, and let's talk about the craziness of next week. As I said, the Hall of Fame is taking place on Tuesday. Class of 2020 and 21 are going to be there. People like Kane, the NWO, Eric Bischoff, Molly Holly, the Bella Twins, JBL, Davey Boy Smith's family, William Shatner, and Rob Van Dam are already been announced, and so they're going to happen on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday and Thursday is NXT Takeover. Night number 1 of Stand and Deliver. We'll see Pete Dunne against Kushida, MSK taking on the Grizzled Young Veterans, and Laredo del Fantasma for the vacant NXT Tag Team Championships. Leon Ruff versus Isaiah Swerve, Bronson Reed, Cameron Grimes, Dexter Lumis, and LA Knight in a 6-man gauntlet match, which was determined last night of 12 guys. These 6 are advancing. The winner of that gauntlet match is going to go against Johnny Gargano on night number 2 for the North American Championship. Walter is going to take on Tommaso Ciampa for the NXT United Kingdom Championship. Walter's over 700 days holding that championship. I don't know if Ciampa can do it. And Io Shirai is going to take on Raquel Gonzalez for the NXT Women's Championship. Steven, your thoughts on night number 1 of NXT TakeOver?
I'm excited for a lot of it. I mean, some of the matches I'm really excited for. Like the MSK match, I think is going to be amazing. I think the Io Shirai match is going to be amazing. Walter is going to be with Tommaso Ciampa. There's a lot to be excited about.
So let me ask you this. Who's taking the NXT Tag Team titles?
MSK.
Okay. Who's coming out to challenge Johnny Gargano?
LA Knight.
I'd like to see it be LA Knight, but unfortunately, I also see they've telegraphed it being Dexter Lumis with everything that's going on, unless they can stop that one.
I thought originally it would be Dexter Lumis, but I think it's too obvious.
Yeah, that might be the good thing. Walter still retaining, or Ciampa taking the UK gold?
No, it's going to be Walter. Ciampa's not going to go over to England and defend this title. So it's going to be Walter. It's just a matter of how it all goes down. But Walter's going to win the title, can retain the title. It's just a matter of how does it all play out.
Io Shirai retaining, or does she finally drop the title to Raquel and move up to the main roster?
I know what I would do if I'm booking, and
drop the title.
Yes, I think it's time for Io Shirai to move up to the main roster.
I've been waiting for a long while for her to do that, just because there's been so many people that she's gone against that I would have liked to have seen with the title, just so she could also go up.
I think with the new crop of ladies that have come in, the women's roster is now at a point where on NXT you could take a Io Shirai off the roster of the NXT and it not hurt. You've got Taya Valkyrie and all the new women that have come in, and the women who've stepped up their game to be able to take over. I think time is now. Because if she's not moving now, when do you do it?
Yeah. So night number 1 is going to be on USA Network and Peacock. They're going to simulcast it together. Night number 2 is going to have Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart defending the NXT Women's Tag Team titles against The Way, Candice LeRae, and Indy Hartwell. Adam Cole against Kyle O'Reilly in an unsanctioned match. Johnny Gargano taking on the Gauntlet winner. Jordan Devlin taking on Santos Escobar to unify the NXT Cruiserweight Championship, and they'll be in a ladder match thanks to Shawn Michaels introducing that. And Finn Balor is going to defend the NXT Championship against Karrion Kross. So, women's tag team, new champ, still champ.
I think it's going to be still champs, only because they've already played hot potato with it once. They don't need to do this again.
Yeah.
I think I don't agree with the way they did it the first time, putting the titles on Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai. Sorry, I spaced out there on who her partner was. And then you switch it right away. I think it's time to
let it be established.
Yeah, because if you start to play hot potato too much with it, it's going to lose the potential that it could have.
Right. Okay, Johnny Gargano, still champ, new champ.
I think it comes down to what WW or NXT WWE. If it's LA Knight, he's losing the title. If it's anyone else, he's retaining.
Okay, Johnny Impact could be gold list. Who's holding the two Cruiserweight championships at the end, doing the Razor Ramon pose? Jordan Devlin or Santos Escobar?
To me, it's Jordan Devlin. Yeah. Again, without knowing all the immigration status and does he want to be here full time, to me, the most sense is Jordan Devlin.
Yeah, it'd be good considering he shouldn't have lost. Well, he didn't actually lose it. He just was put on the shelf because of COVID and everything going on with that. And Finn Balor retaining or dropping the title to Karrion Kross with Scarlett by his side.
I believe he's dropping this title to Karrion Kross. Again, Kross never... Sorry?
Hitting the reset button and giving it back to Kross, who won it but couldn't hold it.
Well, if you're going to keep Karrion Kross in NXT, you're putting the title back on him. And you're going to have Finn Balor chase. If your plan is to move Karrion Kross to the main roster, then Finn Balor's going to retain. So part of the problem is we were talking off air about the night after, what the night after WrestleMania usually brings, the craziness, the excitement.
People being brought up, yeah.
None of us know what it's going to potentially look like. To me, I think a lot of it comes down to what you're doing with people after the are you bringing them up or are you keeping them in NXT?
Yeah, let's see that. So that is NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver. Wednesday night is going to be on USA Network, or in our case, Sportsnet 360. And night number 2, Thursday, is going to be on Peacock in the United States or the regular network here in Canada and all over the world. Then they're going to do SmackDown on Friday, and that brings us to WrestleMania. I'm just going to run down the card. We're going to look at it more in depth next week when it's more established, hopefully, and we're also going to review it in time for people to make their picks for the Predictions League. So night number 1 has Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Bobby Lashley against Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. Bad Bunny against Miz. Currently a singles match. Could be a tag team. Hopefully a tag team. New Day taking on AJ and Almost in his debut for the Raw Tag Team titles. Strowman against Shane in a steel cage match, and Cesaro against Seth Rollins in a singles match. Then on night number 2, the Sunday the 11th, Roman is defending against Edge and Daniel Bryan for the Universal Championship. Asuka against Rhea Ripley for the Raw Women's Championship. The Fiend against Randy Orton in a singles match. We don't know what it's going to look like, if it's a Funhouse or just a actual match. Big E defending the Intercontinental title against Apollo Crews. Sami Zayn against Kevin Owens in a singles match. And Riddle defending the U.S. Championship against Sheamus. So a lot of belts on the line, a lot of matches happening between 2 nights, and a lot of action happening starting Monday for a lot of days straight. So wish us luck in covering it. Your thoughts, final thoughts before we head out of here?
I don't know how we're going to watch all this wrestling next week. I know next Wednesday I'll watch night 1 of Stand and Deliver, and night 2, since I'm in London, I have to try to find someone who will give me their network so I can watch it. Or maybe me and Shawn will watch it together here. Who knows? But I'm excited. I don't know how this is all going to work, and I think this is really a trial run for WWE for having all this wrestling in such a short period. I don't think it's going to work, but that's just me, because I don't think there's enough time to watch it.
Okay, so I want to thank everybody for being part of the show. The unexpected visit from Scumbag Yates. We're going to make this into a full interview this month for sure, just to review the whole month of competition that he had with the tie breaks, and as long as he's alive from the wing experiment that he's going to try hopefully this weekend. Want to thank everybody for voting throughout the month with the March Madness. We want to encourage everybody to sign up for the Predictions League. We're going to have a lot of fun with that. As said, next week I'm going to have the championship belt to show everybody. And
whoa! You keep saying you'll have the title belt.
Well, you're going to be in Toronto, so
what?
You're going to be in Toronto probably by the time.
No, I don't go back till at least the 10th. So
okay,
I'm pretty sure I'll have this title belt next week. People, don't let Shawn think that he's going to have this belt.
We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I just want to give a heads up also to our friends over in Listable. Hard Knocks Wrestling Academy, should I say, is starting classes Tuesday and Thursday, 6:30, 8:30. At least they were supposed to beginning April 6th. We're now in lockdown, 16 plus. It's 1100 Wallace Ave North in Listowel. Because of the just announced lockdown that we're back into starting on Saturday, you might want to give them a call and check it out, what their plan is. But if you're looking for a wrestling school and you're somewhere in Midwestern Ontario or willing to drive to Midwestern Ontario, check out Hard Knocks Wrestling Academy. And once again, with the fundraiser for Jordito's medical rehabilitation, check out our Scumbags Wrestling store on Pro Wrestling Tees. Buy shirts, and I'm going to donate that money to his worthy cause and helping him get rehab. So yeah, always love helping out wrestling fans. I don't do this for profit, so if I can help out somewhere, it's always good. I wish everybody a happy Easter and good luck with next week and watching all the wrestling that's going to be available. Any last words, Steven?
Happy Easter.
You have something to plug.
Oh, yeah. Make sure you check out cwnonline.ca. It's called Slugging with Stephen O'Neill. This week is featuring Alexia Nicole. I forgot to look to see who next week was because I pre-put them in because of work. It'll be now. Who is it? Hold on. Uno momento, por favor. Because now I have it. It's Justin Saint.
There we go.
Sorry, I usually check ahead, but I completely drew a blank on what I was supposed to do there.
I believe you made it to the semifinals of our tournament.
Yeah, I'm excited. Every week, every Tuesday, about 6:00, it drops at cwnonline.ca. Make sure you check it out. I thank all the talent so far who have taken the time. I'm going to be following up with some of the ones that, with work and stuff, it's taken a while. So I'll be following up with some of them probably this week. We'll see. But I mean, I'm excited to see what is to come, because it hopefully we'll all get to see live wrestling at some point soon and see where I can take this, because it's quite entertaining for me to get to know some of our local favorites and you find out about them.
Yeah, so definitely a good read over at CWN online.ca, Slugging with Steven. And just another shout out for you guys for joining our Facebook page and supporting this outlet that we do every week on the Ontario Indie Podcast Network and the Johners Network, and all the outlets you can get your podcast from, and watching us live here on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. If you have any comments, send them our way. If you have suggestions for another tournament, we loved doing that this past 64 person tournament in this past month. It was fun for everybody. Steven's already thought about a tag team version of Ontario, so we're going to talk about that. But if you have any suggestions, and Joe thought about reffing one, so we'll find out how many refs are out there, and maybe it's an 8-man tournament. But yeah, we want to have fun. We love interacting with everybody. Give us a shout. We want to just have fun. So until next week, have a happy Easter.
Peace.
If you want a variety of wrestling news and history, look no further than the Scumbags Wrestling family of shows. On Wednesday nights at 6 p.m., join Shawn, Steven, and Jonesy as we look for the best of the best and break it all down in a unique tournament format on Fantasy Warfare Tournament. Then Thursdays at noon, take a look back at the rich history of our great sport with This Week in History. Relive title changes, births, deaths, and some of the best events of all time. Finally, join us for the latest in wrestling news, show results, and predictions Thursday nights at 8 p.m. for the Scumbags Wrestling Podcast. The Scumbags Wrestling can be found on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Instagram, along with our audio versions on Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or anywhere else you get your podcasts from. We're a proud part of the Ontario Indie Wrestling Podcast Network and the Johners Podcast Network.